Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Cup Half Full podcast. I'm your host, Martika Chanel, and today we are diving into a topic that several of us have grappled with at one point in time because it's difficult sometimes believing in yourself, especially when we are in an oversaturated market. And it's easy to get discouraged whenever you see so many people doing something that you want to do, and it may feel as though there isn't any room for you. But I'm here to tell you that it's just not true. And I've got a killer example to prove it. Think about bread. Yeah, bread. Think about bread. All the types of breads that are out there. You know, you have your whole wheat, your sourdough, your rye, your multigrain, gluten-free, artisan lovers. The list goes on, even down to the dinner rolls, right? And it seems like a crowded market. However, how does someone who also loves bread and wants to have a career in it, how do they quieten all that noise to really create something special? And that's where Dave Dahl's story comes in. Dave isn't your typical entrepreneur. In fact, he's a guy who has spent over 15 years in the prison system for various crimes. And he doesn't necessarily have the resume that you would think of when you think of a multimillionaire. But as of last year, his net worth is $10.3 million because he had a vision. And he believed that he could create a better bread that was still nutritious, still full of flavor, and that people would flock to. And this is one of the stories that I told my students whenever I was working in the recidivism space. So at one point in time, I was instructing an English course for local community technical college system. And once a week, I would go to the detention center and I would facilitate an employment workshop course for the inmates there. And I would go in, I would check in like anyone else. They'd see my ID, and then they would lock me in the room, you all, with all of my students. And I was there for one specific job, was to instill in them faith and encouragement that despite their odds, their current odds, they could still become whomever they wanted to in life, that there is a second chance for them. And I found this story and I said, oh my goodness, this will be the lesson for one of our courses, our classes, which is, will your bread make it on the shelf? And so I was fortunate enough to share this story with them to help to inspire them, because here you had a guy who was in all this time, various crimes, and you can look it up, and he still fulfilled his vision because he believed in himself. Despite there being this oversaturated market and feeling like, hey, how do I get my footing? He found a way. And you've probably seen his bread in the store as well, right? It has great branding, Dave's Killer Bread, and it's super healthy, and it's the top selling organic bread in the nation. And so his story is powerful, right? Because it shows us that it's never too late to reinvent yourself, and that it doesn't matter what your past looks like. It matters if you have a genuine passion for something and you are ready to really delve into it. Both feet in, you're all in on this. And it's also something, you have to have a unique vision as well. If you're putting in the hard work, you're really able to achieve these incredible things. I understand that his story is one of a kind, but it just goes to show you that it doesn't matter what your odds are. It matters if you have that passion, that grit, the gumption to go forth and really realize your dream. That's what it comes down to. And think about your own life. What is that one thing that you've always wanted to do? Whether it's learning a new language, writing a book, starting a new hobby, really building your business. And don't ever think that it's too late or that there's too much competition. But because, you look at Dave's story and you understand that, okay, he spent a good chunk of his life behind bars, and he still was able to come out on top in the end. And not only show everyone that, hey, you're deserving of a second chance. You're deserving of seeing your dreams come to fruition. And I'm also going to pour back into others and give them a second chance in life as well. Beautiful, beautiful story. So I want to encourage you to go for it. I want you to forego the aspect of fear, to forego the notion that this is it for you, that you've already found your space and there's just not enough room, there's not enough time, there's not enough this. Make time for it. 5 minutes a day, just start somewhere. Because, I once read a book and there was a beautiful quote in there that still stays with me, which is fell again, and fell better. And I love that because it speaks to the importance of embracing fear, embracing failure. Because from where I'm sitting, failure gives you the opportunity to see your resiliency and also to say, you know what, that happened, but I'm still going to keep going. Because once you break past that perceived limitation, it really fuels you even more, because you see that, hey, that was just a little speed bump. There's actually so much more ahead if I just allow myself to go further, if I just give myself permission to push past this perceived limit that I have placed on myself, or that someone maybe has spoken over to me. It doesn't matter about any of that. It matters about you and the choices that you are choosing to make to get to where you want to be at. That's all that it is. And so just remember, going back to, will your bread make it on the shelf? Just remember that despite there already being a variety of what it is that you want to do, we're still missing yours. We're still missing that unique spin that you're putting on it. We're still missing what you have to offer. And we're waiting for it. I know I'm here for it. And I want you to be too. So get back to the drawing board. Start building out your micro steps. I always say poco a poco, because little by little you will get there. And that's my driving force whenever I'm planning out my next goal, working on fulfilling my vision that I have for myself. It's just a little bit every day, no matter the obstacles that you have. I have so much, that I have on my plate as well. But I know if I just work a little bit each day, each week, it adds up. And the summation is my dream realized. And I want that for you too. So keep striving toward what it is that you want for yourself, where you foresee yourself, because it will become your reality if you give it permission to. So that's it for today. Thank you for tuning in to the Cup Half Full podcast. I'm your host, Martika Chanel, and I wish you peace, joy, and unconditional happiness. Good day, you all.